All right, how about this one, Shade? Number 5, Alabama on the road at Mississippi State. Crimson Tide favored by 17 points. The over-under's at 57.5. And this is the evening game on ESPN, 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central, nationally televised. Alabama's won 14. No, excuse me. I almost jumped the gun here. Alabama's won 13 in a row in this series. Who you got in the matchup?
Oh, Mike, this is one we talked earlier in the week, trying to convince me that Mississippi State has a chance against the defending national champions, coming off an upsetting loss against Texas A&M. And I tell you, that's one of the few games I did get back and start looking at. And I'm telling you, man, a couple opportunities, Alabama was right back in that thing. I mean, they were winning that game if a couple things went their way and not Texas A&M's way. This is a top-tier program, Mike. This is a team that still, in my mind, needs to have an opportunity to play in the college football playoffs because they're probably going to win it all. But you're coming off a tough victory, and how do these boys handle it? Do they have the senior leadership in that locker room to get focused? You know, I mean, it's easy when you got Coach Saban breathing down your neck and telling you about the rat poison and all that stuff. But when it comes down to it, you got a team that didn't lose a game last year. Some of these kids have never lost a collegiate game. Mm-hmm. And how do they bounce back against Mississippi State? It's a hostile environment. I mean, I hate watching games there. I know if I'm a Mississippi State fan, I love it, but them damn cowbells are ridiculous. I got to turn my TV down sometimes because they're so loud. So I can't imagine what it's like being down there on the field. This is going to be a loud, violent crowd, and they're excited. They see blood in the water because it is realistic to lose this game for Alabama. Mm-hmm. So, but it is Nick Saban. Look at how many times he's lost. How many times has he lost 2 games in a row? It just doesn't happen. That's what I keep telling myself. I get it. It's a perfect storm. You're on the road, but I just have that much faith that Nick Saban's able to get this game right. I don't think it's a blowout. I really do think Mississippi State hangs in there. I think it's a ball game, but I think Alabama pulls away there at the end. So I've got Alabama winning 34, Mississippi State 27. One-score game.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Well, this is a matchup, Shane, of the SEC's top 2 passing attacks, so we may see some fireworks in this one. I was surprised to find out that Alabama, they just got 12 sacks this year, Shane, and that's number 11 in the SEC, so they're not really getting to the quarterback like we thought they would. And could that play a factor? Because, you know, that's what Mississippi State loves to do. They love to throw it all over the yard. Mississippi State, they've got the number 8 rushing defense in the country, Shane, and that's kind of Alabama, you know, in the last couple of weeks, that's what we've seen them want to be able to do, just pound that B-Rob at opposing defenses. Can they do that? I don't know against Mississippi State. So there's a lot of things here that I think favor Mississippi State. How about this one, Shane? Alabama, this is going to decide the game. Third down on both sides of the field.
Mm-hmm.
Alabama, number 2 in the SEC in converting on third down. But Mississippi State, number 2 in the SEC in stopping people on third down. So, man, some interesting matchups going into this one. How will this Alabama team respond? I'm kind of, I'm liking your score prediction here, Shane, because I've been singing it from the mountaintops. I do not think Alabama is quite as elite as they normally are. Now, are they a top 4 team? Probably, but we're used to Alabama being number 1, and that's kind of the point I'm making. So I don't think they're just going to go into Starkville and just destroy Mississippi State, even if Saban's been riding them pretty hard to bounce back this week. So I think the Mississippi State, again, it's kind of unfortunate because Ole Miss got a bye week before Alabama. It seems to mess with their rhythm. Will that happen to Mississippi State? We'll find out on Saturday. But they were playing the best football they played all year when they beat Texas A&M. Now they had 2 weeks to prepare for Alabama. So we'll see if that plays any kind of factor in the momentum scale. But I like what you had to say, Shane. I like Alabama to win the game, but I really like Mississippi State to cover. I didn't have the guts that you do to have it a 1-score game, but I think it's pretty close, Shane. I go Alabama 31, Mississippi State 21.
So you still got them covering. Okay, Mississippi State.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. It wouldn't surprise me if they backdoor this thing, but I just feel like it's a close game going into the fourth quarter. I really do. I think Mississippi State hangs in there, and Alabama just barely pulls away there at the end.
Mm-hmm.